Hey there guys, this is EKo CBG and welcome to a brand new deck profile. This time, we're going to be examining the brand new support given to Glory Maelstrom and the Maelstrom List for Aqua Force as of VBT 11. First of all, we have our grade 3s. As per normal, we are going to be running 4 of Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom, as well as 4 of Blue Storm Supreme Dragon Glory Maelstrom. Now, given the deck search ability, you can quite easily justify sacrificing a normal Maelstrom for perhaps a Riptide Dragon, for the large numbers on the Excel circle, which make it very, very difficult to guard, if not impossible without a Sentinel, when your Glory Maelstrom goes off. Now, in terms of their skill, Maelstrom has a skill of once per turn, Counterblast 1, and all of your units in the front row gain plus 3k until the end of turn. His second skill, however, is that when your rearguard's attack hits a Vanguard, if it's the third or fourth battle of the turn, you discard 2 cards and you stand this unit. Now, you might think to yourself that because there is the attack must hit requirement, this card can be very difficult to trigger, since your opponent can adjust PG it or guard it, since there is no guard restrict at this stage. But for that, just keep with it. We're going to come back to it slightly later on, and you'll see why the VBT 11 upgrades have made this deck absolutely fantastic. As for Glory Maelstrom, his skill is act on Vanguard Circle once per turn. Until the end of turn, your opponent cannot intercept, and can only call up to 1 card from his or her hand to Guardian Circle for each battle. And then, if your soul has a card with Maelstrom in its card name, your entire front row, or every card in your front row rather, gets plus 10k until the end of turn. Now, important to note, all it needs is a card with Maelstrom in soul. So if, for whatever reason, you absolutely brick, and you cannot pull the Maelstrom, you are still more than happy to ride Glory Maelstrom on top of Glory Maelstrom in order to fulfill that condition. Now, in terms of grade 2s, we're looking at 4 of Jewel Staff of Emerald Elpida. We are looking at 4 of Drifting Float Fencer, again from VBT 11. And as for oldies, we're keeping 3 Press Stream Dragons, and I myself run a single Coral Assault. However, the reason for that is that I am missing certain grade 1s, and you could justify exchanging this for either a Vivian or for another Press Stream Dragon. Now, you might recall about a minute ago, I was telling you guys about how the problem that Maelstrom has at the moment is that its skill activates when the attack hits. I did say we're going to get back to this, and we're back now. So, as you can see, Elpida's skills reads twofold. There is a rearguard in Guardian Circle. If you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card name, this gets plus 5k and both shield and power. And its secondary effect is auto on Vanguard or rearguard circle when it attacks a Vanguard, Counterblast 1, and until the end of battle, your when attack hits effect activates even if the attack did not hit. Therefore, for a mere Counterblast 1, you're able to guarantee a resound your Maelstrom, no drive lost, no real penalty with the exception of a single Counterblast. Then, moving over to Drifting Float Fencer. His skill reads, auto on Vanguard and Rearguard. When placed, check top 7 for a card with Maelstrom in its card name, and if you do, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. And when it's Rearguard, when it attacks, if it's the 4th battle of that turn or more, and you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card name, this attack gets plus 15k until the end of battle. Now, Press Stream Dragon is one of the very most vital pieces of this engine, because its skill reads, act on Rearguard once per turn, Counterblast 1 and discard a card with Maelstrom in its card name, and your Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card name get plus 10k and plus 1 drive until the end of turn. So this means if all 3 are in field at one time, because you'll see when we get to the grade 1 slot, there is a whole lot of searchability with this deck to the extent where the only draw trigger we run, and spoiler alert, are the PGs. So all you're really trying to do is you have so many Maelstroms in hand that you can very easily justify throwing them away for the effect of Press Stream Dragon. Then we're going to go into Coral Assault, and I know a lot of people are kind of unsure about its inclusion. I generally like it solely because its skills read, during the battle attack, if 4 or more of your other units are rested, it gets plus 15k, so it's an excellent attacker on Rearguard Excel Circle, and on Rearguard at the end of the turn, if the total number of attacks is 4 or more, you can put it into your soul and draw a card. So it's good card draw, because as I said earlier, the deck is very good at thinning, so you can hit those triggers more consistently. When it thins them out of Maelstroms, so it's always nice to kind of get the extra card draw in, because, again, as you very well be aware, Maelstrom doesn't really have shield value. So it's a good way for us to catch up on the board, allow us to stabilize, and give us that 1 extra turn before we get the glory kill. Because most of the time you go into glory when you're ready for the kill turn. Now, in terms of grade 1s, we have, first of all, Analyze Shooter, who reads, auto on Rearguard Circle, when an attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from your hand, to search your deck for up to 2 cards with Maelstrom in their different card names, reveal them and put them into your hand, shuffle your deck. Effectively, what this card reads is you just gain both Maelstroms and you guarantee that you have the Maelstrom on turn 3, as well as the quote-unquote cross-ride the following turn. Following that, we're running 4 copies of Battle Siren Viviana. You may be very aware of it's been run since Extra Booster 2, and it reads, Rearguard, when it attacks it boosted hits a Vanguard, if it's the 3rd battle of that turn or more, put this unit into your soul and draw a card. So again, it's a nice little plus engine for the deck, especially since you can justify running Rearguards or grade 1s in the front row, because when that glory turn goes off, or if you put them on an Excel Circle, they do get the plus 15k, or plus 20k if you go the Excel 1 route, and it is still a very, very dangerous weapon because your opponent effectively has to guard it, or they just take free damage, which they can't really afford at this stage of the game where you do usually glory them. Followed up by that, as you guys might remember, we did have Elpida on grade 2, but on grade 1, we have Radiate Assault. Radiate Assault reads, when placed, Soul Blast 1. Until the end of turn, for the battle that this unit attacked or boosted, when your attack hits effects activate even if the attack did not hit. And then put a card with Maelstrom in its card name from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck and draw a card. So effectively you get to recycle your Maelstroms, you get to ensure that your normal Maelstrom hits, just in case you had to discard some early on, like for example for the effect of Press Stream Dragon, which allows you to constantly recycle that effect, and makes Maelstrom a very, very dangerous deck to go up against long term. Finally, we do have Bubble Ball Corporal, the latest edition from VBT 11. Its skill is auto on Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. When its attack or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, look at top 7, reveal up to 1 Maelstrom, put into your hand, shuffle your deck. So like we said earlier, between Analyze Shooter and Bubble Ball Corporal, as well as Drift Fencer, it is very, very unlikely that you'll end up breaking to the point where, at the end of the game, you aren't looking at having multiple Maelstroms in hand, allowing you to quite consistently ensure that you do hit the grade 3 ride, and you do hit the glory on the following turn, as they both proc with a single trigger of Analyze Shooter, and between Analyze Shooter, giving you both Maelstroms, and, both Elpida, as well as our Radiate Assault, it is very, very unlikely that you don't end up with everything in hand if and when you need it. In terms of our starter, we are going to run Officer Cadet Eric, who has got the standard skill of Quick Shield and Draw Card. In terms of our trigger lineup, like I had spoiled earlier, we are going to be running 4 PGs, because again, you do have to make sure you do survive those early turns to get that massive, devastating Maelstrom turn underway. And because we're running so few draws, because we focus so much on deck thinning, our biggest risk is really not hitting those criticals. And it's for that reason that we're going to be running 8. And because the deck isn't very focused on restand, because we're not running the Algos package, things like front triggers don't really hold up late game, because if you're only dealing 1 at a time, it's still, in my opinion, not as effective as having hit all of those criticals, because that effectively means if you do, for whatever reason, restand, your opponent is basically terrified of every single move. And finally, of course, we're going to be running our 4 heal triggers. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below, as well as join our Discord and DM me any questions you might have, as well as suggestions as to where you would like us to see us go with this in the future. So guys, once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.